Okay, looks like we are back. Hello and welcome to the stream. We are going to keep on rolling with not Dream Team, Major Contest playthroughs. And next up is BigHockeyGuy's Gobbling Creek. I am going to play this from the correct tees this time. Under 7,000 yards on this one, which is an interesting choice. First time I played this, I accidentally played it from the red tees, and I'm thinking to myself, why is this course so short? This doesn't make any sense. And then realized that I'm playing a 5,300 yard course. But it's fine. Um, First impressions, I'm liking I like the environment overall. I think that's pretty solid. Some of the surfacing choices are a touch odd, maybe. Like we have again, the fairway going straight into the like remove heavy rough tool, I don't know, is always a bit of a harsh transition for me. And then we have light rough with kind of grasses behind it, which is not a bad thing. I don't know. Again, personal preference. I don't usually tend to plant the light rough type thing. I feel like you replaying courses? Just the one, because Rhino's course is the one that I had issues with. What do you want to call it? I had issues with the stream. In case you're referring to my earlier comment on this one, it's because we're far enough into this. I've played all the courses in the contest now for judging purposes. So I haven't done this one on stream, but we're not doing cold playthroughs anymore because I've actually had to play all of the stuff already. I just didn't have time to do streaming parts of it, so I'm a little behind on that. But anyways, overall, really enjoying the vibe of this one. Again, a little bit of kind of surfacing oddities. This is a very interesting framed tee shot, and I kind of dig it. I think I can just blow it straight over though. Oh my god, no. Wow, that's a one in a million shot. Okay, never mind. You can't just blow it over that. So that's interesting. With a little shot shaping, I think that it should be trivial to cover that creek, but I'm going to find the absolute comedy of errors way to play this course. Who's this? This is Hockey Guy's course. I don't know if I like again. Usually, like the tree right in the middle of two bunkers is a bit of an odd choice, but I do like the way that it's presented on this hole. I think again, it's not really in the way, but I like the way it presents things. Yeah, I'd say so. Like I think he's had a pretty decent lock on environments for a while. Um, and this continues to be no different. Like there's some really cool stuff about this one so far, but I'm also looking at it thinking that um again it's early. The second hole is cool, but a little awkward at first glance. I'd probably have to play that a couple times. Um to really get a feel for it. But it's like I like the wall work, that's nice. Yeah, again, the environment's good. I'm a little lost on some of the surfacing choices. It feels kind of random. Uh, like I don't mind the like brown light rough kind of use, but kind of like it uses pine straw. It uses the like normal heavy rough. It uses the remove heavy rough tool where it gives you the dirt textures. So it's like you have this grass planted area, which should probably feel uniform, and it covers four different surfaces, and it's just a little odd to my eye. Oh my goodness, that's a bad shot. Again, comedy of errors on the actual playthrough part of it. But again, I give it points for like it's certainly trying some quirky things with the design, with, like, I think generally positive results. And the environment and the look is, fantastic. I'll say, again, for a course that's done a really good job of framing stuff, this one feels like a little bit of a miss, just because you have all of this empty space that's kind of where your eye is drawn, that the hole doesn't use at all. Like, if anything, it's like, it's very cramped. Not cramped, but you're reusing kind of the same landing area for both of these holes, and the corridors are very narrow, and then there's like 40 yards of unused space over to the left where it would like feel like, it would make more sense for this hole to kind of. Ooh, where's these swings coming from? My goodness. So it's one of those like where it almost feels like you have to like plant it up to make this corridor narrow to sort of justify the decision of kind of pinching the playing corridors for those two holes. Man, I am finding some spots today. This is going to be quite an interesting playthrough if I can't hit basic shots. Yeah, interesting. I think yeah, the surfacing on this one gets away from me a little bit. Also that short bunker. I'm not really sure, other than like framing maybe, what the point of that one is. It doesn't really feel like it does much, but maybe that's just me. Get up. Oh, get in. Hey, there we go. That's a shot. How am I under par with how horrifyingly bad I've been playing? It's really hard for me to gauge the difficulty of this one because I'm hitting it so all over the place. But I was about to say this one feels like it's too easy, and then this pin feels comically, like, basically impossible. Like, at least to get near. Maybe if I like had a dozen balls and could try and like just drop one in the like in the collar in front of the green and get it to kind of like bounce softly, you could get it close. But there, other than kind of doing a trick shot, there's absolutely no reasonable way to get close to this pin. Well, I was gonna say Dario's usually very good at making very hard but fair pins, and that one just kind of, I think, steps even kind of past that Dario line. Missing being punished is fine, but you still have to have like a possibility of success, I think. 5 wood downhill. I think I could do this. Not when I push it like that. Bounce over. Ah, oh well. There we go. Again, like I'm playing some terrible golf. I'm even through this. Hang in there. Alright. Again, it's certainly trying a lot of stuff, and I generally appreciate it. Like, even the ones like I don't know if I feel like this hole is a hit or a miss for me. It's kind of both. Like, I appreciate the quirkiness of it. Like, and kind of bringing the wall into play. The green being on the left side of the wall feels odd because like obviously the wall would most likely be like some kind of property marker. So it's like if the golf course exists on both sides of this wall, then why is that wall there? Other than like, hey, I need a wall to build a quirky hole out of. Which I mean, really is sort of what we're always doing. Like, when you're designing a course, it's kind of the secret is that, you know, every feature that you add it is there for the golf, and then you kind of justify its existence later. But you still kind of want it to make like internal sense. There's lots of walls featured on this course, which I don't like mind. I think like a wall is a great feature to have on a course, but you kind of want to justify its existence as opposed to like I made 12 random walls on this course that just happened to cut holes in half. It kind of undermines like the quirk and interest of there being a wall there. You might as well make like a really long thin bunker to do. So especially when it gets light, that red planting feels. I'm not sure like if it's trying to replicate something that I'm not familiar with. It feels very bright and maybe a little kind of clashes with the like very muted like kind of green and yellow tree planting that I really like. Oh, hang in there. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. But at least like I really appreciate that this course took some chances. Yeah, we've got more kind of like again for someone who loves um I like any one of these wall holes I think I would enjoy, but when I have 6 or 7 of them in 13 holes, it feels maybe a little overdone. Like it's a note that you're hitting very hard on this course. Wow. Okay. Why am I doing that? Where's that coming from? Also, how am I under par doing that? Well, I'm not gonna get to give any notes on how this hole plays because I am very much not playing it as intended. There we go. Now we're in the heavy rough. It also is really leaning on these like pinched high point pins like this one of like, hey, it's in the narrow part of the green and everything runs away from you. Hey, there we go. Like I feel like I've gotten several of those already this round, and it's like really like you could probably get away with one as kind of as a thing, but I think like it's not the best thing to hit on, and when you do it multiple times, it really kind of overstays its welcome very quickly, I think. Okay, like I think like there's all sorts of good ideas on this course, and I'm like maybe it just like again, there's all sorts of fun, quirky stuff, but I also feel like it to me feels like it needs like another round of kind of editing of like picking the ones out of the like again picking a couple of the wall holes that work the best and like doing something else with the ones that don't work as well, or kind of again less like tucked pins that run away from you type thing. Ooh, like again, like this one's fair because I missed in a bad spot and now I'm screwed. But if like basically every shot is going to have this sort of disastrous result, then it's probably not a great pin. And again, and it's despite kind of all of the like things that feel maybe a little unfair, somehow it's still a little on the easy side. Like Like, um, we've had what, three-ish drivable holes I can recall so far, which is just a lot for a plat course. It's a lot for any course, and like it really feels like, there's ways to make a 6,900 yard course hard, and like this one, it's just like neat. The missing length feels noticeable, if that makes sense. It's a nice looking closer. I hope we don't have a pin here. Like, that feels goofy. I imagine we have to. Like, this is probably pin 4 right here. Like, again, I don't mind there being a pin close to this runoff, but this slope feels gimmicky to me. It's not something that would make sense in terms of how the land would flow. Like, you'd have to build up this anthole pin. And it's just like, it doesn't feel like it's a feature that we took advantage of. It feels very much like a manufactured, like, hey, I made this thing, and also this thing, hates you. There's a little bit of a flow issue. Yeah, I can see that a little bit. But yeah, again, as a whole, I really liked it. I think there's also, like, definitely some kind of noticeable things that's holding this one back a little bit. I'm keep tabbing around. But anyways, thank you everyone for following along. Yet another, like, good submission to the contest, and we'll see how things go. But thank you for following along. We'll for those of you in chat, we'll talk to you in a minute. But everyone else, we'll catch you in the next one. Until then, have a good night.